Okay, hi everyone. Thank you for being here for my senior capstone proposal presentation. The topic that I studied was sexual objectification in music videos, looking to find a way of how representation for women as subjects can be done in music videos. So as an overview of me, I'm Carley Matsumura. I'm a four-year UHWO student. I graduated from Hawaii Technology Academy in 2020, and I'm majoring in creative media as a communications and new media technology major concentrated. And I'm also pursuing a certificate in music. So here's a summary of my slides. I have my plan, my thesis, the objective of my research, and the rationale, as well as the significance to it. And I'm going to go over this further throughout the slides. So my thesis statement is that the sexual objectification of women in music videos creates harmful representation for the image and identity of a woman by maintaining patriarchal beauty standards and cultural connotations toward expressed sexuality. The objective for the research conducted was to analyze the impact of male gaze on sexual objectification relating to women, understanding that catering to the male gaze through beauty standards and sexual empowerment is profitable, provides rationale for why female music artists self-objectify in music videos. I conducted a literature review on the topic of gaze and female sexual objectification in media, including music videos, to identify the creative choices that are taken that objectify women. My goal was to determine how female gaze can be applied within music videos to provide representation of women as subjects instead of objects. So I listed out here some of the terms that I'm going to be going over in the slide that provided rationale for the research. I'm going to get into those later. But just to provide context for what male gaze is, it's a theory that depicts women in media as only having identities in connection to a man. Through male gaze, the audience views the world through a male point of view, and women are viewed as objects by both the male characters who are the protagonists and the audience that is watching through their positioned. So this is the opening shot from Tyga's music video Taste. And then for female gaze, there are two ways of looking at it. The first is the literal female gaze, in which it's a woman who is the one capturing or directing the creative decisions made. And the second way of looking at it is a more abstract way of how to depict a female view of the world. So in my research, the version of female gaze that I used was women portrayed as subjects in media rather than sexual objects. And so portrayals of female gaze can include role reversal and sexual empowerment. So here is the musical artist Ashniko in a position that a male artist would typically hold, with male models posing for her and her taking pictures of them in her music video. So my senior capstone plan is to apply female gaze to visually represent the experience of sexual objectification in a music video for an original song. It will incorporate the research conducted on sexual objectification within music videos to create a project that utilizes objectifying techniques and removes the sexual aspects established in the research. So the sexual aspects would be traditional beauty standards, and in this project, it would be resisting those. So by framing objectification without those sexualizing aspects, I aim to bring awareness to sexual objectification present within music videos, understanding for the experience of sexual objectification, and demonstrate how female gaze can create that representation for women as subjects in music videos. Moving on to the significance. The first one that I wanted to go over was Fredrickson and Roberts' objectification theory. It works in two parts. The first is when a woman is actively objectified, and the second is when the objectification is internalized by a woman. So this model outlines how the experience can lead to psychological consequences and then mental health risks. And that ties into the future implications of sexual objectification experiences being linked to these psychological effects on identity and creating mental health risks in women. And the sexual objectification in music videos results in women's experience of internalizing that objectification. The data that I have to support that is that 27% of women consider mental health to be the most pressing health issue for US women as of in 2018. So that lends support to it being a concern that mental health issues for women are addressed. The second significance is Hall's encoding and decoding theory, which details that the communication process between the receiver and the sender, the interpretation of a message sent is influenced by the factors relating to the encoder, who is the sender, and the decoder, who is the receiver's way of understanding an image's meaning. So this figure right here has the different factors that both sides need to be able to understand or to be able to interpret the intended message. So the future implications of this is that music videos convey these encoded messages relating to identity and culture to their audience, and they're interpreted. So if images of women as sexual objects in music videos create sexualized representation for women, that's what they are then internalizing and self-objectifying as the audience. And then for data, 53% of female consumers strongly agreed that media holds women to unrealistic beauty standards, with 30% of male consumers also strongly agreeing. So, just going back to this, it shows that it's what the encoder is sending out and being decoded. 53% of female consumers strongly agree that it is unrealistic beauty standards that is the message being sent by the media as the encoder. And then for the third significance, it's the observational learning theory dictating how human behavior is influenced by observational learning of role models. So in this figure, we see that these people aren't quite sure what to do in this environment, and they're watching what other people do, and then they then mimic it. And the roles of women are enforced through the way they are filmed. So women performing for the camera and the camera being male gaze centered creates the message that women are on display for male visual pleasure. And female music artists account for less than 35% of top songs, regardless of genre, throughout 2012 to 2022. So that means that the representation of female music artists is less than 35%, which reduces the visual representation that female music artists as controlling the narrative for their music videos have to create representation for an audience. So my target audience would be my peers here, creative media and music students, aged 18 to 40, and the West Oahu community as a whole, because realistically, they're the most likely to be viewing my research and project. And I also included West Oahu faculty who have an interest in film and music as part of my target audience. So my proposed solution is to reframe objectification to present female gaze as a solution to the sexual objectification of women in music videos. This creates representation for women as subjects instead of objects. My preparation process has the pre-production as developing the original song that would be used, storyboarding visuals for the music video, and creating a promotion timeline, as well as securing talent. In the production side, I would begin filming and then releasing promotion material. And for the third phase, post-production, the video would be edited, and then an official teaser would be released, as well as the music video being posted. So I created a timeline of 3 months for what would be happening. In the first month would be writing and producing the song and creating the accounts that the official music video would be posted on, and then storyboarding the rough for the music video and starting on all that pre-production side. In month 2, it would be finalizing the pre-production and beginning production of filming, as well as preparing for the promotion that I would be putting out. And then in the third month would be the edits of the actual video and then prepping for release, which would happen in the 4th month, week 13, when the music video would be officially released. So my deliverable would be a 3 to 5 minute music video using the following objectification elements of duplicating parts of a body, dividing the individual into parts so that they're only seen as parts of a whole, and then using match cuts to create association to physical objects from a body to an actual object, and how that ties into objectification. And then I wanted to just show this music video as an example of kind of where I'm going in my direction. So in this music video, the subject is watching and mimicking a media message on beauty standards and how that involves performing for the male gaze. And so I would be wanting to do that, but for objectification. So I'm just going to play a little bit of this. So she's watching this ad. She was about to eat and then she put it down because they're promoting dieting pills. Okay, and then here's my works cited. And thank you so much for your time. If you have any questions, I'm more than happy to address them at this point.